Namaste, my friends. Great to see you again. For this video, it is a short practice for you to do in the morning or in the afternoon when you don't have a lot of time. So come to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to put a block on top underneath you. Feel free to sit any way, cross-legged, or with your legs out any way you want. So sit comfortably, put your hands on your lap, close your eyes, and just notice your breath. Perhaps you want to do a Dirga breath, 3-part breath, or a Ujjayi breath. And if that doesn't ground you, feel free to put one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and feel the rise and fall of your chest and belly as you breathe. And slowly come back to your regular breath. Release your hands by your sides and find a comfortable position. Usually, maybe put your hands by your heart, cross leg, and we're gonna exhale out. Inhale in. This is coordinating movement with breath. To get you used to yoga, yoga means unions. So in this case, we are forming a union with our movement and breath. And now raise your arms to your eyebrow level. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And now next time, raise your arms up above your head. And if your shoulder is sore, feel free to just do it halfway. Okay, you don't have to go all the way up if your shoulder is sore. Okay, in just any heights that you want. So come back, your hands on your chest. And this time, raise your hand all the way up if it feels okay with you. And just tilt your body to one side for a lateral stretch. Exhale, come back. Inhale. So inhale and exhale doesn't matter in this case because it's not pressing onto your belly. You don't necessarily have to do an exhale when you're bending, but I usually do. So slowly put your hands back by your side. So perhaps just do one neck roll and a very, very gentle look to one side and look to the far corner up. And look all the way there, slowly. You don't want it to do fast. Sometimes you may get dizzy. Just into the front. Come back and pause. And now we're switching the direction of the circle. I'm doing it slow because when you're going too fast, you get dizzy and you may miss the sensation of your neck. And come back to the side. And now keep your shoulders square and just turn your head to one side and take a one breath. Slowly come back to the center and the other side. My right side now. And pause and take a breath and come back. And this time I'm going to look all the way up to the ceiling to stretch the front of my neck. And pause and take a deep breath. And slowly I'm going to bring my head down and chin to my chest. Until I can't go any further, I pause and take a deep breath. And slowly I bring my head to come back. And now this time I'm tilting my head to the right side and use the same right hand to encourage it a little bit further. And after that I release my hand and I look turn my head a little bit and just to do a front arc. Turn it to this side, to the other side, and now I'm tilting toward my left side and stretching my right side of the neck, and use my left hand to encourage it a little bit further. And then I use the same way to turn my head slowly toward the front, come back to the left side, and use the right hand and push my head back up. Okay, so now I'm also going to open up my arm parallel to the ground, and if you can see me that I'm not tilting it here or all the way there, it's just level. Okay, so I'm just going to make an arm circle. Make sure that using the joint, the circle, not here, okay, just the whole shoulder joints. So I'm just going to do 10 toward the back. I'm not counting exactly. I think this is 10 because I'm focusing on my breath, and switch the circle of your arm. Maybe even the shoulder blades feel like touching each other in the back. Great. And now pause for a moment and flip your palm up facing the ceiling. And now we'll do the circle again. 10 and pause. Switch the direction, circle. And pause and slowly release your arm and bring your right arm across your body and bring it up. Yeah, stretching the outside, your deltoid. Yeah, and feel it on here. Okay. Yeah, and bring it in as much as you can and slowly release your arm. And the other side, across your body and just bring it up. Enjoy the stretch and breathe into it. And slowly release. And perhaps shrug your shoulder once and twice. So we're just gonna come to all fours, okay? And leave your blocks in the front as much as you can. And I'm gonna turn this way so you can see my body, okay? So how I'm stacking my shoulder above my wrist and my hips right above my knees, okay? So I'm just gonna do cats and cow. We're just gonna do 4 times, a very short practice. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale. Exhale to cat. Round your back. Inhale to cow. Now come back to your neutral spine. I'm moving up a little bit. And stretch out your right leg and tuck your toe in for cow stretch. Okay, here I am. So we're putting everything, the little poses, video together to see how we do a short practice in the morning when you don't have lots of time. So this time you can take your left arm out, bring your leg to hip level. So remember this bird dog? This time we bring our elbow and knee together. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. I think this is 3, right? Exhale, inhale. This is 4. Slowly bring your arm back and your legs, bring it back and walk it over to the left side and turn to look at your foot. Enjoy your lateral stretch on the right side and just breathe. And slowly walk your foot back and the other leg. And notice how you feel on your right side because you just did the right side. And now extend your left leg and tuck your toe in. Stretch your calf. I rock back and forth as you can see. And then I add my right arm, extend my right arm, and I'm making sure that my arm is stacking right underneath my shoulders. And I steady my body and slowly lift up my legs. And I'm going to bring my elbow and knee together. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale.
exhale, inhale. And I think this is the fourth one, unless I add one more. Bring my arm back, descend the leg, and walk the leg over to the right side. Can't go any further, and I turn to look at my foot. I enjoy this stretch. And slowly I walk back. And now I bring my hands 6 or 7 inches ahead, and slowly I tuck my toes in, hoist it up to downward facing dog. Okay, so rest your legs or stretch out your hamstring here by bending it, doing back and forth, and press your upper body onto the ground. Stretch out the top, and I know that it may be a lot on your wrist, so feel free to double up your mat to help yourself with your wrist. And slowly see the inhale to plank and come back. So you are in the right position. If you can inhale and you are on a plank, you're right above your shoulders, right above your wrist, like I am right now. Okay, so if not, feel free to adjust yourself. Sorry, I have a scratch. So right now we're gonna do a plank series. So we're gonna do a front plank and then turn to the side plank and left and right side, okay? So we hold it for a count, for 4 counts. So let's get ready. When you are in a appropriate position, your hands in the right position to hold up your body weight. So we inhale to plank. So count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. We pivot our leg to one side and turn to side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And feel free to come out with this leg to the side, or even bring this leg to the side plank if it's too much for you, okay? So you can modify it. But this is a full plank. And come back to the front and pivot to one side and turn to the side plank. Remember, you can put your leg out, your up the top leg this way to a modified side plank, or this leg out, okay? But for those of you who want more intensity, so do a full plank. So we're holding it for 4 counts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll come back. So now we drop it to 2 counts, right? Okay, front. So hold it for 2, 2, and 1. Then pivot to one side. 2, and 1. Come back to the side. Then pivot to the other side. 2, and 1. So now we drop to 1. So we just hold to 1. 1. And 1. Okay, come back on a plank. And come back to downward facing dog. Now feel free to drop your knee and rest on a child's pose. And let your heart rate come back down, because we don't want your heart rate to be going too high. So that is the purpose of yoga. Yoga, you'll always come back to your equilibrium. So if something that you feel like that your heart rate is going too fast, feel free to come back and pause for a moment. And just take some deep breaths. And if you want to stretch out your side body, just move your arms to one side and stretch out. I'm moving out to my right side, the arms, and stretching out my left side. If you can see it on the video. Again, and I'm moving my arm, my child's pose, over to the left side to stretch my right side. Yeah, and sometimes come back to the center. And if you want to bring your hands up on a steeple pose, you're stretching your underarm, okay? While you're catching your breath. So all these things that you can do while you're on a child's pose. And now slowly come back. I hope you are ready to come back. And come back to your all fours, okay? And tuck your toes in and come back to downward facing dog. And slowly bring your right leg up to the front. And standing on the back of your foot, come back to crescent. Yeah. Inhale. Interlace your arms. And perhaps even look up. Arch your back a little bit and drop your hands to the side. So take your right hands onto your right knees and bring your left elbow. See if you can put it onto your knee and just turn, twist to the side and enjoy the twist. So if this is too much for you, feel free to drop your back knees. And some of you, when you drop your back knees, you can turn a little bit deeper. So that may be helpful. But those of you who enjoy a challenge and you say that I really, I want more. So feel free to come up, okay, where you are. And just hold for a couple of breaths and slowly come back to frame your leg into the front. Bring your legs to the back. Come back to downward facing dog. And slowly bring your left leg up in front of you, and your back leg is standing on the ball. Slowly come up to crescent and interlace your hands in front. Again, you can look up, interlace your arms by your ears, and slowly bring it back. And now this is your left hand on your left knee, and the right elbow onto the knee. See, twist to the other side. And keep your hands on prayer. Remember, you can always drop your knees down and turn to the side a little bit deeper, okay? Now, for those of you who want a challenge, you want to stand up. It's up to you. It's a preference thing. Don't worry about it. Doesn't mean that you are less capable if you're dropping your knee, okay? And slowly come back to frame your knee. Frame your foot in the front. And come back to downward facing dog. And rest here for a moment. So while we are here, inhale your legs up, okay? Enjoy your three-legged dog and slowly bring your leg in to a half pigeon pose, okay? So you're right here. There's a little bit gap right here. It is okay, don't fall down. So we keep your hips square, opening up your hip flexor. Okay, so right here, if you have a block and you want to use a block, feel free to do that. And just come down here, either put your elbows on the inside or just prostrate yourself here to enjoy the opening of your hips, okay? So my left hip flexor extended, so I feel really great, is opening. Now, hopefully your back leg is straight, and if you want to do a little bit more, bend it and make sure your kneecap is not onto the floor, but the flash of your thighs touching the floor, and come back up here. If you want to have a quad stretch, bring your arms over and just hold it. Okay, so you're doing a quad stretch on my left leg. Okay, if you can touch it. If not, you can either use a sock here or a strap. And slowly bring it back. And frame your hands back here if you want, and hoist yourself up. And shake out your leg. Come back to downward facing dog, okay? And now inhale your left leg up and bring it to the front for a pigeon. The back leg is extended, okay? Now remember, you can always use the block if you don't want to prostrate yourself all the way, but depends on how flexible you are, how you want to feel. You can always put your block right here. And enjoy the stretch. Okay, if it's too much for you, feel free to adjust it. Remember that let the pose work for you and not you for the pose. Okay, slowly come back. Now remember your back leg is standing in the back. Now you're supporting yourself with the arm. Bend it if you want and turn to the side and see if you can hold your leg for a quad stretch in the back, okay? And slowly come back and frame your hands by your leg on the side and take it out there to stretch. And slowly walk your legs towards your hands and come to a standing forward fold if your legs are okay, if you feel okay. Otherwise, feel free to bend it, okay? At this time, if it's a lot for your hands, you can also put your hand underneath your foot to counteract a lot of pushing that you've been doing on your wrist. But because I'm wearing these gloves, I don't feel that as much. But those of you will make a big difference if you stand on your hands right now to press onto your wrist. Now slowly release and come back flat back. Exhale again. Now this time come all the way up. Bring your hands together in front of you and prayer. Okay.